Hey, shalom. We are today doing one of the Haftarah readings for the Sukkot holiday. Our reading will come from 1 Kings chapter 8. I will be going a bit faster since this is replacing our usual Koheleth class, the Jewish wisdom literature, which can be kind of difficult. So I will assume that you've been with us for a while, although really any level of immersion student can participate in this. Just make sure to do it right, understanding that you might not understand everything, okay? So, what this means to you is I won't be explaining everything as detailed, for example, as in our Torah classes. All right. Adonai Adonai ken hiratzon ki tihyena kol tov veruchacha tihyena itanu. Ta'azerna oti ledaber רק כי אתה רוצה, ותעזרנה את כל תלמידיי. Okay. Okay, so this little graphic novel sketch, these will be from right to left. All right to left, just like Hebrew. This is how Hebrew graphic novels go. So here we are, starting with 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 2. It says, Vayik kahalu el hamelech Shalomo. Kol ish Yisrael, which is actually construct. So, da kol da ish Yisrael. Beyerach ha'etanim bechag. Hu hachodesh ha'sheveri. All right, let's pick it apart. Vayik kahalu. You'll notice there's a dagesh in the kuf. So that tells us this is a nif. So the noon is inside of the kuf. In ancient times, vayin kahalu became vayik kahalu. So just think about a kahal. So then they were gathered, right? Because it's nifal. El unto Ham Melech Shalomo, the King Solomon. And here he is sitting up there. Who were gathered unto him? Who were kahaled unto him? Kol ish Yisrael, every man of Israel. Yerach, in Yerach. Now Yerach is, it's similar to moon. Yareach is moon. So Yerach is here most definitely being used as month. And what's interesting is the ha-etanim. So etan has the idea of like continual or durable, but this is probably, as pointed out by the scholar Mordecai Kogan, the month of Ethanim is an example of a Phoenician month name. So this is basically going to tell us it's the seventh month. Continuing on, Be Chag, in the Chag, in the festival. And you'll notice there's a segol under the bait. That's for the definite article where its footprint remains, because there's a comets under the chait. So the rule is if you have an ayin and a comets and it's unaccented, or if you have a chait and a comets, either accented or unaccented, we point the definite article as he instead of ha. So like if I wanted to say there, the festival, we could say he chag. Okay. Who, he or it is ha chodesh. There's the normal word for month. The month ha sheveri, the seventh. So it is the seventh month. Let's read through verse 2 again, and you try to translate before I do. Vayik kahalu, then they were assembled, they were kahald, el, unto Ham Melech, the king, Shalomo, Solomon. Ta kol ta ish Yisrael, kol ish Yisrael, all the men of Israel. Even though it's singular, we need to say men in English. Beyerach ha'ethanim, in the month of Ethanim, which is the seventh month, from Phoenician. Bechag, in the festival, like during the festival. I.e. Sukkot, So you see why this is one of the Haftarah readings for the festival of Sukkot. Hu hachodesh hashevi'i. It, literally he, right, referring back to Chag, it is hachodesh, the month, hashevi'i, the seventh one. All right, continuing, verse 3. Vayavo'u kol, actually, kol, ziknei Yisrael. Vayiseu hakohanim et ha'aron. Okay. Looks like I accidentally left off the Sof Pasuk. Sorry about that. So, bo, we know. Yavo'u, they will come. Vayavo'u, and they came. Who came or who arrived? Kol ziknei Yisrael. All of the zekanim, the elders of Yisrael. Vayiseu, and they nasad. We're missing the noon there. They carried. Who carried? HaKohanim, the priests. So, and the priests carried et ha'aron, the aron. What's the aron? This is the aron, the chest of the ark of the covenant. I've got a song about that over on, well, for certain Patreon levels. Okay, let's read that one. You try to translate as I read. Vayavo'u, then arrived or came, da kol da ziknei Yisrael, all of the elders of Israel. Vayiseu hakohanim, and the priests carried et ha'aron. Nice. Okay, now enjoy the pictures there. All right, let's go to the next one. First Kings chapter 8, verse 4. So we're starting on the right-hand side, yeah? Vaya'alu et Aron Adonai, or te Aron Adonai. Ve'et te ohel ma'ed. Ve'et te kol te kelei hak kodesh. Asher ba'ohel. Vaya'alu otam hak kohanim. V'hal lewiyim, or v'hal wiyim. Okay. Vaya'alu. So that's from Allah to go up. That's a Hefil. Then they brought up, what did they bring up? Et Aron Adonai, the ark of Adonai. Ve'et, and Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting. Ve'et, and what else? Kol, all of, Kalei, like the instruments or the vessels or the things of Hak Kodesh, the sanctuary. Asher, which were ba ohel, in, the ohel, tent. Vaya alu, and they brought up otam, them, hak kohanim, the priests, the halviyim, and the Levites, or the halviyim. All right, let's read 4 again. Try to translate before I do. Vaya alu. Then they brought up, they caused to Allah, they caused to go up, et Aron Adonai, the ark of Adonai, literally the chest of Adonai. The et, and Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting. The et, Kol Kelei HaKodesh, every instrument or vessel or tool, item of the sanctuary. Probably item is better there. Every item of the sanctuary. This is a very versatile word, right? You can have kalei milchama, like weapons of war or tools of war. And you can have kalei nashim, which is like adornments of women, right? Like jewelry and perhaps makeup, that kind of stuff. Asher, or you can have just the kalei that you can cook soup in them. Asher, which ba ohel, in the ohel, ba ohel, in the ohel, in the tent. Vaya alu, and they brought up ot them. So that's et plus Who brought it up? What's the subject? Hak kohanim, the priests, vehalviyim or vehalviyim, however you want to read that one. So that is our subject. Of the verb Allah. Okay. Oops, sorry. I did not mean to do that. Ah, wrong way. Wrong way. Verse 5. Vehamelech Shalomo v'chol da adat Yisrael hanoadim alive eat lifnei ha'aron or lifnei ha'aron mezabechim צאן ובקר אשר לא יספרו ולא יימנו מרוב. Cool. All right. Let's do this again. Picking it apart. 1 Kings chapter 8, verse 5. Veham melech, and the king, the king, Shlomo, Solomon. And I know some people are like, why do you say Shlomo and not Shlomo? It's true that in Israel today, they'll just say Shlomo, right, for this name. But it's a vocal schwa. So we will do it as it was in biblical times, as the Masoretes captured it, Shlomo. The Shlomo is, well, a lot of times Israelis don't vocalize the vocal schwas anymore. I mean, some places they do, some places they don't. And some of it's influenced by Yiddish. In Yiddish, the name is just Shlomo, right? So they'll say Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon. But here we have the HaMelech, and now the king, Shlomo, Solomon, the and construct chain, the chol, all of the adat, that's from Aida, the congregation, or the assembly of Yisrael. Hano adim, alive. This is another word for assembled, like gathered. They were gathered. They're alive with it. By it, ito, with him. So one is referring to the Ha'aron, and one is referring to the king. Lifnei Ha'aron. It could also be like witnessing, right? So it can Ya'ad in the Nephal can be to be gathered. Like it's actually where we get the Ohel. If you look at verse 4, Mo'ed. It's from this verb, see? So we say Ohel Mo'ed, tent of meeting, right? So that's why I would say you can say gathered, but it can also have this meaning of witnessing, right? So I'm not sure which is intended here. Probably gathered, as I said at first. Alive with it, ito, or near it with him, by it with him, probably better. Livnei ha'aron, before the ark. Mezabechim, sacrificing. This is a participle form. Sacrificing. Tzon, that's sheep. Uvakal, and cattle. Asher, which. Lo, not. Yusafiru, So this is from the verb safar, which is to count. That's where we get the word mispal. It's a number, right? Something with which you count. And then you can tell there's a dagesh in the samach, so it's a nifal. Yin safiru. So we have a lot of nifals today, don't we? The noon and the nifal went in there. So in ancient times, yin safiru became yisafiru. So which lo not yisafiru, they are counted. It's not counted. Velo and not yimane. Pardon, yimanu. I did the wrong verb there for a second. This is like measured, or also they're not counted. Me rov. Me, it's min. The noon cannot go on the resh, so me from rov, from abundance. Right? Like due to their number. All right, I will read through verse 5 again. This time you try to translate before I do. Vehamelech, and or now the king, Shlomo, Solomon, Vechol Adat Yisrael, Vechol, and all of the Adat, that's an Aidah, the assembly or the congregation of Yisrael, Hanoadim. Oh, here, I didn't catch it the first time. The definite article, we should probably say who had gathered. Right? Oftentimes, if you have a participle in biblical Hebrew, we put a hey in front. That's like an asher. Who had gathered or who were witnessing? Probably gathered is better. They're alive with him or by it. Ito, with him. Lifnei ha'aron, before the aron, before the chest, before the ark. Mezabechim, were sacrificing. Tson, uvakar, sheep and bulls, or better say like cattle. Yeah, cattle. Asher, which lo yisaferu, were not counted or are not counted. Velo, and not yimanu, and not, it could be portioned or weighed or counted also. Merov, due to abundance, or literally from rov, the numerousness. Okay, how you guys doing? This is where we would usually break it up and just let the Levite steps continue with the lesson. But I think for the Chag, we'll let everybody get the full lesson this week. All right. Verse 6. I'll just scan this one very quickly. Vayaviu hak kohanim et ta arom ta beritz Adonai el mekom el ta devir habayit el kodesh ha-kodashim, or actually ta kodesh ha-kodashim, el ta tachat ta kanfei ha-keruvim. All right. Vayaviu. So this is a hefil. It's corrected by the Nazarites who pointed the text. The chirik there. From the verb ba, to come, but it's hefil, so it's cause to come, so to bring. Yaviu, they are bringing, or they will bring, but vayaviu ha-kohanim. And the priests, they brought what they bring? Construct chain, aron berit Adonai. So the last word is a name, so we can say the ark, the aron of the berit, of the covenant or the pact of Yod-He, Waw-He. El, unto. Mekom, from the word makom, became makom. place of, of him, or it. El, Aleph Lamed, unto, Devir Habayit, the Devir of the house. Devir means Holy of Holies. It's the Holy of Holies. It's the most sacred place. Quite interestingly, you can note that the root of the Holy of Holies is the word davar, right? The root from davar, right? Or to speak. So Devir Habayit is the holiest of the house, or the temple. Beit Elohim, the house of God, is one way of saying HaHechal, the temple. El, unto, the Kodesh HaKodashim, the holy of the holies, right? Construct chain, we have Ha on the last word, so the holy of holies, to make it sound right in English. El, unto, Tachat, underneath, the Kanfei HaKeruvim. The first word in construct is from Kanfayim, or Kanpayim, wings, Kanfei, wings of, Hak, the Keruvim, the cherubs. Okay, let's read it again. This time you try to translate before I do. Vayavi u hakohanim. Then the priests brought in et Aron berit Adonai, the ark of the covenant of Adonai, el mekomo, unto its makom, location or place or site. El, unto devir habayit, the holiest, or the holy of holies of, I know we have that again later, but it's just another way to say it in Hebrew, the holiest site of the temple. El, unto Kodesh HaKodashim, the holy of holies. El, unto Tachat Kanfei HaKeruvim, under the wings of the cherubs. And sorry about that, the Aron should actually have cherubs on it as well, right? So, okay. Any comments or questions? Continue on. This was kind of okay. Verse 7. Now, 7 and 8, I may go through kind of quickly because I'd like to get through 11 if we can today. All right? 7. Ki hakeruvim porshim kanfayim el da mekom ha'aron. Vayasoku hakeruvim al ha'aron ve'al badaiv milma'ala. Okay? Ki, for hakeruvim, the cherubs, porshim is like had stretched out, kanafayim, wings, el, unto mekom ha'aron, the place of the ark. Vayasoku, and they protected or restricted access, hakiruvim, the cherubs, ve'al, over, ha'aron, the ark, ve'al, and over, badaiv, it's badaiv, that's it's badim, it's the poles, like the poles they would carry it with, milma'ala, from above, like upwards. Verse 8. Vaya arichu habadim vayira'u ta rashi habadim min hakodesh al panei hadivir velo yira'u hachutza vayihyu sham ad hayom hazeh. Vaya arichu, Aleph Resh Kaf, and were arranged, and they arranged, pardon me, Habadim, the poles, Vayira'u, this is a nifal, it's either the noon would have liked to have gone into the Resh, it wasn't allowed, So instead, we lengthen that chirik there. So nifal from ra'ah is the verb reish aleph hey, worsening, and worsening rashi habadim, the heads of the poles, min from hak kodesh, the sanctuary, al panei hadavir, by the front or the face of the holy of holies, velo, but not yira'u, were seen hachutza, outside. Vayichyu, so they were sham, there. Ad until hayom hazeh, the day of this one. That's of course in those days when this was written. All right. I didn't really give you the chance to translate on your own on this one, but I'm a little concerned of time to get this all in our allotted time for the class. So let's see. Yeah, I think we'll continue at this pace. It's okay. Verse 8. That wasn't the transition I expected, though. Let's try again. There we go. Verse 8. Pardon me, verse 9. Wait, did I make a mistake? Whew, I thought I left out 8. Verse 9. Ein ba'aron rak te shanei te luchot ha'avanim asher hiniach sham Moshe bechorev asher karat Adonai im te bnei Yisrael b'tzetam me te eretz Mitzrayim. Ein, there was not Aron, in the ark, rak, except, or like only just, shnei luchot, 2 tablets of ha'avanim, the stones. So the 2 stone tablets. Asher, which, hiniach sham Moshe, which Moshe, like laid to rest, caused to rest, like set or placed, sham, there. It's a hefil from Noach. The hollow verb, the vav goes away, right? Hineach sham Moshe bechorev, at Chorev. Asher, where karat Adonai, Adonai cut Aim, with Bnei Israel, the children of Israel. Betzet Am, when Yatzad them, in the going out of them, Me Eretz Mitzrayim, from the land of Egypt. Okay? And of course, the implication is a covenant. What did he karat? He karatted a covenant. Okay? Verse 10. Vayhi betzet hakohanim min hakodesh. So it was when the priests would go out. So this is yatzah in a construct form. So betzet is betzet hakohanim, literally the going out of the priests. So when the priests would go out, min hakodesh, from the sanctuary, the anan, that the anan, the cloud, malay, filled, et Beit Adonai, the temple of Adonai, literally the house of Yod-Heh, Waw-Heh. Verse 11. Velo yachelu hakohanim le'amod le'sharetz mipnei ha'anan ki malei chevod Adonai et Beit Adonai. Okay. Velo, and not yachelu, from yachal, to be able. They were not able, hakohanim, the priests. So velo yachalu hakohanim, and the priests were unable, le'amod, to stand, le'sharet, to minister, mi, that's from panei ha'anan, from before the cloud, or the presence of the cloud. Ki, because malay was filled, or filled the chevod Adonai, the glory of Adonai, et Beit Adonai, the house of Adonai, or the temple of Adonai. So nice, right? Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of makeshift, simple comic. Hope it made the lesson more fun today, and kind of you feel the festivity of Sukkot. I will feel free to watch this multiple times. You can adjust the speed. I know it's a bit faster than we do Exodus, but I kind of try to make Koheleth kind of an advanced night. So if you're not getting it all, don't feel bad. Maybe you're just not on that advanced level yet. But with all these immersion classes, you can always repeat, and slow down and watch. And as long as you're at least understanding some of it, you are on the right track. So I wish you guys a continuing happy holiday, and I will see you this Shabbat as we work through the ancient triennial Torah portion in the original, and not the original, in the original Hebrew, yes, in an ancient codex over 1,000 years old. Shalom, shalom. This video was proudly Israeli made and edited. Am Yisrael Chai, Od Avinu Chai. Tikkun Olam, repair the world. Do your part to reduce suffering among humans and animals. Shalom.